semester of English department. My topic is about first language and the roles of first language. First language is the language that individual learns at first time. And first language has some roles. There are interference. There is two interference, physiological, that L2 learners still in transition time between the old habit of L1 to the new condition of L2. Second is sociolinguistic, that L2 learners still use their L1 language when they have interaction with others. Second is transfer. There are two positive that happen when L1 pattern match with the L2 patterns. For example, Ana makan mie. It's matching with Ana eats noodle. The place is same. Negative, it's contrast of the positive transfer. For example, rumah besar. It's not matching with house big. The correct one is big house. The third is borrowing. It's happened when the L1 is absorbed into L2. For instance, Spanish, for example, QQ borrows from in English word that is cake. Fourth, code switching is about mixing language between L1 and L2. In order to the communications, it's happen among bilinguals. Okay, that's all from me. I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Here I want to explain about second language acquisition, part 3 about individual differences in second language learning. In second language acquisition, there are so many ways to learn the second language. We cannot judge a person whether they are wrong or right when they learn a second language styles. Because not everyone has the same strong feeling without anxiety of speaking in public. For those who have an anxiety, it might be someone, a person who's an introvert. They think that speaking is horrible. Moreover, in front of a bunch of people that we should face. Speaking in a bunch of people that we should face. Example, when they feel anxious, when they tend to speak and explain in a whole class. For example, when they feel anxious and they tend to speak in a whole bunch of people in the classroom, then it's a fear of a small group. But for extrovert, they can enjoy that much speaks in front of people. For example, once again, the students can easily and clearly explain in a whole class without hesitation, or they feel good about it. They will feel good about it because they haven't anxious. So that's the contrast differences in some ways to learn second language learning. is when they talk about motivation in a classroom, some teachers have their own opinion about students, in which has top activeness in a classroom is a student who are lively talks, asking and answer when their friends in a help. When the teacher is giving explanation in front of the class and they do not know something, they can really raise base and ask a question, motivator toward the students. To motivate the students, skills teacher can give some positive vibes in the classroom. Make sure that the classroom is clean and full of joy. The content is interesting, and the atmosphere is very supportive. By giving them some ideas how to develop these skills with some kind of media, students will interested. The last one is, for example, giving the students comics to develop their reading comprehension. Giving them comics to develop their reading comprehension skills. They will enjoy that because there's a pictures in it and some very interesting pictures. We can use kids song or fable story or listening comprehension skill to develop their.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is KHOTIMAH KOLAEH. I am class translation. Today I will to explain about the nature learner language. The nature learner language is the written or spoken language produced by a learner. It is also the type of data language in cycle language acquisition research. Mass research in cycle language acquisition is concerned with the internal representations of a language in the mind of the learner, and in how those representations change over time. Error and error analysis. Reason for focusing on error, they are conspicuous. It is useful for teachers to know what error learners make. Identifying errors. How to analyzing learners. To identify errors, we have to compare the sentence learners produce with what seems to be the normal or correct the sentence in the target language with correct content of them. For example, a man and a little boy was watching him. It is not difficult to see that the correct sentence should be a man and a little boy were watching him. Okay? Explaining error. The identification and description of errors are preliminaries to the much more interesting task of trying why they occur. Errors evaluations, where the purpose of errors analysis is to help learner learn an L2. There is a need to evaluate errors. There are two errors. One, global errors, and two, local errors. And the last, variability and learner language. They have three contexts. One, linguistic context. Two, situational context. And three, psycholinguistic context. Okay, maybe enough for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Finally, this is the fifth explanation about the fifth topic. It is about interlanguage. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is ELFRIDA from 6th group, and I will going to present this topic. Okay, interlanguage. Definition of interlanguage is interlanguage comes because students who learn L1 first language and target language. Interlanguage is the language between L1 and target language. So the learner made their own language it made from mix the first language and target language. Why they made an interlanguage? Because interlanguage can deliver them to learn target language or to get the goals of target language. So the interlanguage is the mixed language between L1 and target language. Okay, and the second point of interlanguage is theory. Interlanguage has two main theory inside. The first theory is behaviorist learning theory. So what behaviorist learning theory means? Behaviorist learning theory means is seeing the interlanguage based on the learning habit or learners habitually. Okay, and the second is mentalist theory. This is the how to look the interlanguage based on mindset or cara berpikir si learner. The psychology aspect is taken commonly in this theory. So, and it also calls the mentalist theory sees the interlanguage based on the nature of learner. Okay, and the third point of interlanguage is computational model L2, second language. What computational model L2 is? Computational model L2 is process of learner to learn target language. So computational model second language has process. There are number one is input, second is intake, third is L2 knowledge, and the last is output. Input, as we know, is masukan to learn or to get goals of target language. Okay, and the second is intake. Inside of intake, it happens. No. Short intake is in the name of short-term language. If second language is the long-term, then intake is the short-term of second language. Okay, and the last is output. Output in computational model process, output process takes from or berupa writing and speaking. So the learners or students learn target language by writing and speaking for mastery. Okay, This is the end of my presentation. See you again, and we will going to the next presentators. Bye.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Syaifulloh. You can call me Syafiq. I'm from class E class and from semester 2. And I'd like to present to you about observing learning and teaching second language in classroom and second language learning in the classroom. So let's begin. The first one that you know, in this part we will talk about 4 parts. The first one is about natural setting. The second one is about instructional setting, and the third is about approach to classroom research, and the fourth is about proposal for teaching. So let's begin. The first one is about natural acquisition setting. Okay, this setting is come from the daily life and activity from the learners, our neighborhood, school or work. Here, the learners used to get a wall of material language and directly and follow our setting. Yeah. Second one is about instructional setting. In this setting, there are 2 kinds. The first one is about structure-based instructional setting. Here, the teacher teaches the language for discipline learning or reading in small amount of number for hours a week. It makes the learner usually feel uncomfortable to talk a lot of in a class. And second was about communicative instructional setting. Its comparison with the first setting, this setting is concerned on the use of language itself for interaction, and it makes a student feel free to talk a lot of in class, and they will get their mistake are seldom to be corrected. And the next is about approach to classroom research. Okay, in this research we talk about observation scheme. Okay, in this scheme, the researcher observes the class and makes a checklist note of some of criteria that may happen in the class. Yeah, there is some observation scheme. The first one is about teacher-students interaction. In the instruction, best teacher are in a full control, which make the student less talk about making error instead is important in learning language. The student and student interaction. It means that this is more about negotiation and meeting, and some of students try to hard to receive their message from what they're talking about with their friends. And the next is about corrective feedback in the classroom. This part is to give correction most of teacher to recast or formulate the student's sentences in order to reject the error. And the last is about questions in the classroom. So that we all know, the question can be displayed or continue that given by the teacher, or he wants to get information for a real. The amenity is from the teacher asks the student for some question like one. So next, ethnography. Now, before it, we talk about scam, and the next is about ethnography. Ethnography, the researchers try to figure out the patterns and relationship on what exactly happened in class. It concerns on social, cultural, on political and policy and teaching itself in language learning. For example, the social fellow of L to our second language in home and in school is very different, right? For L2 in home, environment is very less important, but it is different by student in a school, so they will be L2 will be more awareness than L1, so they will get L2 appreciation. Sorry. So the next, this is the last part in my explanation. It's about a proposal for teaching. So there are some parts that we will learn in proposal for teaching. The first part is to get it right from the beginning. It is important, right, to make the teaching well prepared and has instructional instructional interaction. And the second is just listen and read. In this part, here the teachers try to get target language by doing listening and reading comprehension. And the next is about let's talk. In this part, this opposite proposal than the second one. By talking, a lot of students can practice more correcting error and or their mistake. They will produce each other. I mean, it's for negotiation between them. So next, get 2 and 1. It is similar with Indonesian proverbs skill. I mean, you know about what? Istilah in Indonesia, that sekali mendayung 2-3 pulau terlampau. It means that, you know, it seems like L1 and you must make correlation with L1 and L2, and it can make students more understand about what do you mean, what target language mean. I mean, there's a similar in L1 and L2. Yeah. The next is about teach what is teachable. Teachers should understand and the condition or level of language mastery of their student. And the last is about get it right and in the end. Just like the first one, in this case, at the end of class, students can get more benefit from their learning if they have an hour time to do self-reflection. I mean, it's for to practical for themselves to make improve in second language acquisition. Okay, that's all my presentation, and I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay.